everyone. I'd like to welcome our guests for speaking tonight. We were going to have a three-person panel. We had a gentleman that's the head of the Cincinnati Federal Reserve Bank named LaMont Henry that had agreed to speak with us tonight, and at noon he called me and said he was unable to join us today. His reason for not joining us is because Mr. Gregory is a political candidate. That they evidently can't be in the same room with a political candidate. So he withdrew his agreement to speak and will not be joining us tonight. So I think some of the mystery that surrounds the Federal Reserve is self-inflicted. So I know I lost quite a bit of respect over this. I mean, if they chose to withdraw, they could have not accepted the invitation. They could have told us any other time. To call at noon today was a little low class. I wanted to thank Roy Smith for the hospitality we always have here at the Holiday Inn and for putting together the spaghetti dinner that we had tonight. For those of you that partook, I think you enjoyed it. We have raffle tickets for sale you saw out there as you come in. We'll draw a little later and give let the winner be announced. As always, since this organization doesn't run for free, we have baskets in the back and we welcome your contributions. We have comment cards on the tables and some of the seats. If you have anything you'd like to share with us, please do. And we have question sheets. So if you want to write a question after a speaker, we'll collect them during the break between speakers and review the questions and ask them at the end.
That would be Eric LaMont Gregory, and I'm not going to read his whole bio either because these are distinguished speakers, but Eric LaMont Gregory is a native of Middletown, Ohio. Go Flyers. Eric Lamont Gregory spent 3 years in Israel and the Holy Land while still in his teens, and it was that early experience, he claims, that gave him a unique understanding of the role the United States plays in world affairs. He went on in the 80s to serve as a consultant to the maternal and newborn care unit of the World Health Organization based in Geneva, Switzerland. He was one of the lead researchers in a global effort by the World Health Organization to reduce neonatal mortality in the developing world, and this work involved him in studies in the Far East, Central and South Asia, Africa, Europe, and throughout the Americas. Part of his work is in international healthcare, and it led to his development of the enumerant thermometer, and I'll let him explain that if he wishes to do so. Eric Lamont Gregory is credited with unraveling some of the mysteries of blood flow and subcutaneous fatty tissue during his time at the Department of Dermatology, the Slade and Church Hill Hospitals, Oxford University, where he worked under the tutelage of Professor Terrence Ryan. He is a current candidate for the United States Senate, as I know most of you have heard. Give a warm welcome to Eric Lamont Gregory.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Eric?
No. After we've heard the reenactment of that period of American history that led us to the founding of this great country, I thought there's only one way, given our Judeo-Christian background and our Greek and Roman heritage that these institutions came out of. There's only one way to respond to the previous speaker. Friends, Americans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come not to bury the Federal Reserve, but to praise it. Perry says that Bernanke is ambitious, but Bernanke is an honorable man. All the Federal Reserve are honorable men. We must judge that honor by their success. and look at the legacy that they've left for America. Do we have millions of people unemployed? Do we have millions of people being thrown out of their homes? Do we have an economy where more people make money on the debt of this nation than make money by being productive? No. I tell you, Bernanke is an honorable man, and the Federal Reserve is an honorable institution. We are all parents here. We were all sons and daughters. And surely the wisdom of our parents that guided us so that we could be parents ourselves, and that wisdom we pass on to our children. There's more than one way to skin a cat. From our tradition, we know of only one institution that is irreplaceable, and that institution is not on this planet. But the Federal Reserve is an honorable institution. And what about the success of this great institution? Founded in 1913. 6 years later, there is a horrible stock market crash. 16 years later, 1929, there's an even bigger crash that put us into a Great Depression that lasted decades. 1935, the Congress of the United States tried to do the unthinkable, end the Federal Reserve. They missed doing so by very few votes. But this is an honorable institution. 2008. Let's go back to 2001. 9/11 put this country into a tailspin. Our planes were not flying. We were scared. We did not know what was going to happen next. We went into recession by our own inactivity. This was an unthinkable occurrence that had happened to us. But this honorable institution thought that it was necessary to start to inflate the economy, to put money into the economy, and then that money would turn us out of this downturn. Where did that money go? I hope you all have a copy of this. This is the key ingredient in understanding why we do not need, nor can we afford to continue the Federal Reserve. In 2001, late 2001, if you look at this chart, all of those dark lines at the top is the basic nature of our economy. But between those two crossbars is $6 trillion that the Fed put into our economy. The best way to explain that is you look at this room. There are doors that lead out of it on these walls. We could open up this partition and we could walk into another room. The Fed filled this room full of money without any idea which of those doors were going to be open. Was it the door that led to people investing in production? Was it the doors that led to people investing in housing and commercial real estate? Was it the doors that let people invest in commodities? They put the money in and had no idea which of those doors the money was coming out. And it came out into housing and commercial real estate. And look at what that did to our economy.